Hello, it's Richard at adisite.co.uk. I'd like to show you how to link from one part of a web page to another part. This might be useful if you've got a web page that's quite long, and you can put a summary at the beginning where people can click on links to get to the part of the page that they want. A typical example of this is an FAQ, frequently asked question list. We have at the top of this page, for example, a list of questions, and then if you go further down the page you can see the answers. This list might get quite long, and so to make it easier for people, they can maybe click on these questions which will automatically go to the answers. To do this you need to be logged into your site, and you can see here I am logged in to the ADI site, and you need to edit the page. And I suggest that you type in the questions like this, and that you also type in the answers, and once you've done that it's easier to set it up using this editor. Okay, so first of all we need to put some sort of bookmarks, which are known as anchors, into the page. So each one of these questions needs to have an anchor next to it, and you use this little link here to put an anchor into the text. So I'm going to highlight this question here. I'm going to click on the anchor and tell it that I want to put an anchor here and give it a name. Now you could just give these numbers, just question 1, question 2, but I'd rather say give it a name that's relevant, so it's easier to edit later on. So I'm going to put in here choose domain. You'll notice I put a dash in here instead of a space. When you're dealing with links, it's probably better not to put spaces in, so I've just put the anchor name in, said choose name, and you'll see automatically now that the editor has put an anchor here for me, and it's called domain name. Let's just do another one here. Can I buy a domain name from another provider? So I'm going to again click on the anchor link, and I'm going to click type in buy domain and click on OK, and there we are, we've got that anchor there. So now what we want is to do that for each one of these questions, but we'll just leave that for now and work out how to link to them. So now when people click on the how do I choose a domain name question, we want the page to automatically scroll down to this question here. So what we do, we highlight the text here and we say we want to make a link out of the text. Now we don't want a URL, this is a link to a website, which we don't want. We want this to be a link to anchor in the text, so we click on that, and you don't even have to type anything in here, it just searches the page for anchors. We're going to click on the domain that we, choose domain link that we typed in earlier. So click on that, click on OK, and it's done. Do the same thing with this. Can I buy a domain name from another provider? And we'll just click on the link, and we'll say we want a link to an anchor in the text, and the anchor name is buy domain. Click on OK, and it's done. Now I'll just save that. Whoops, go right down to the bottom of the page, save, and you'll then see that it's converted the first two things into links. That's why they're coloured and they're underlined when we hover over them, and you can see these two are coloured now because they're anchors. So if I was to click on either of these, it will set me up to go directly to that part of the page. You might notice it didn't work perfectly. I need to log out for that to work because this menu gets in the way. So if we go to the FAQ, can I buy another domain name, and that automatically brings it up at the top of the page. I'm just going to go away now and do that for the rest of the links, so I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I've just been through that process of putting an anchor on each one of the answers and questions, and then I've linked from each of these questions to the anchor down here. So I'm now going to save the page, and we should see, I'm going to log out. So for example, if I click on can I use my existing domain name, this comes up at the top of the list. you'll notice if I click on one of these lower down ones, how can I improve my Google ranking, it doesn't go to the top because the page isn't long enough. It goes down as far as it can. It won't scroll off the page, as it were. So it's quite easy to link from one part of a web page to another part, and the reason you do it is in order to help people navigate a long list of questions. That's a typical use. I hope this was of use and interest to you, and thank you for watching.